But I think definitely it's a journey of emotions which we have today. I think it has a lasting impact on all of us. I think you can say it's an elixir of youth for all of us. That whenever we will meet, we'll always feel young. For me, the journey has all the ups and downs, and I think every one of us has. Okay, it's like that. I think it has been the best of our time which we have spent in this place and with all of you. As Balu was just saying a poem, I think we all have come alone and we will go alone. But I think this bonding will stay with us every time we have united in a reunion. Summing up, I think there are a lot of experiences already, I think hostel experiences and class experiences. I won't take much time. I'll say only one thing. This famous saying, woods are lovely, dark and deep, but we have promises to keep and miles to go before we sleep. So we should all promise two things. First, we are going to take good care of our health and our family, and we'll keep on meeting again and again. Thank you.
So this person is there. I am the day duty person. The other person has finished the night and I have come. And I can see this person is sitting on the desk. You know, we have a desk where we sit in MICU. There are a lot of, there were 30, 40 bottles filled with blood. So all the blood samples have been drawn. Okay. And this guy is sitting there, very desperate. And I asked, what happened? I have not labeled any of this one. Any guesses as to who this person is? I really miss this guy and he's doing well. I think he might join us on the phone later. Nishy.
I don't have much to say, but seeing everybody talk, I stood here for almost 2 years. So I thought I'll come make a few words, say a few words. And then faces in the guy in Baranam. I also had a few faces here. First, for 1.5 years, I was a fun-loving guy. Played around. Then one day Matthew came, asked me to take over the batch. Exam was coming, nobody was taking over the batch as class representative. So I took over the batch and eventually I was able to get through it, right Matthew? We were able to finish one social, one PSM tour, 2 exams. Luckily I was able to go through all that. It was a very stressful time for me. Eventually I found my health was failing, then I left out. And after so many years, my diagnosis was made and Praveen was there, then I was being treated. So much of stressful times I have seen with this batch. Now I am happy seeing so many faces. Hey, nothing serious, okay? No serious, nothing serious was there. I was diagnosed with full Parkinson's white syndrome. So I was fainting each and every moment I was coming to the class. Once I fainted on top of the hostel and fell down and broke my spine. You don't remember that? That was during my university exam. I collapsed and fell down and I broke my spine, and many of my hostel mates were with me during that time. Raja took me to the X-ray room. Eventually I was found to be a spine fracture. I went through my 5-day university with that spine fracture. So many. Anyway, eventually I found that I was collapsing, like fainting. So many times I fainted in the hospital also. So I was going through some fibrillation, atrial fibrillation during that time. After so many years, when my wife, actually my fiancé told me to investigate, then we found it. Praveen was there and Jayadeva Cardiac Institute where my ablation was done. And after that I think I became fitter. And now anyway, at present I am a teacher now. I am an anesthesiologist. I am assistant professor in food in a government institute. I got accomplishments, I got 5 degrees and diplomas in my name at the time. And I am also a senior instructor in Karnataka in a group called Jivariksha, where I teach people to I will actually teach teachers. We are now going international also, and eventually Kerala will take over. Kerala will also have that. I might come to your institute also to teach Jivariksha actually. So life is going well. I never wanted to become a doctor, but I am happy now, and I am happy to see all of you here. Very nice.
So, yes, my reminiscence about, I think personally I am one of the persons who have gained maximum from the institution. Not with that I gained a degree, I gained a family, and a very strong one at that. And I've had, when I think about my experience in medical college, I came as I came as somebody who was not very sure about where I wanted to be. I didn't initially think that I wanted to be in this profession, and somehow landed up in this profession. I was not very confident about how I would go through in the program. So as Anu was mentioning, the first year was a period of extreme confusion for me, because I never thought that I was in the correct place. I wanted to enter a different stream altogether. And the marks that Anu was mentioning probably aggravated to the feeling that I was in the most inappropriate of places. Anyway, the tribulations and experiences that I had, I think Matthew raised the subject of fractured badge. Yes, and if you look back at what happened, the moment I would very clearly say, and I've been saying this again and again, the moment the name of the internal examiner was announced, that was the time when everybody got shaky. Everybody were quite confused as to the reputation preceded him, and everybody was confused. And the events that followed, looking back, what I feel is that there was a huge lot of miscommunication. We probably did not connect with each other, instill confidence in each other, in each of us. We were mistrusting each other. And probably at this point of time, if there was anything that could be done that could reverse it, that would be a better, at present I realize, it could be a better communication between all of us. With time comes a lot of experience. In fact, there are two things that I would like to mention in this context. One is a word by, I don't know, you know, Satyam Raju. Raju is one, Satyam Computers was one of the biggest organizations at that time, and there was a scam, and Satyam Raju was implicated in the scam, and he fudged the reports. So apparently what he said was that he initially started fudging the report, and then he had to continue fudging the report. So it was like getting on a tiger. So often emotions are like getting on that. You get on a tiger and then you have to ride it. Then unless somebody is there to pull you down and make things right, you continue to ride it. So that is something that happened. And second thing is, somebody was mentioning about the background from which each of us come. They are all different. So I used to get angry with my patients for the smallest of things in the earlier period. But then I realized that their backgrounds are different. The morning they woke up, they might have woke up with a headache. They could have had a fight with the wife. They might have lost a transport bus. So then I realized that there are a lot of experiences that go through in somebody making a final before that person makes a contact with you. So it is those experiences that actually we have to take into account. We have to give a leeway to that person regarding the experiences he would have had to get into that position. So anyway, it was a great experience with MBBS 97 batch. A lot of friends, some of them very close friends, they have stood, personally they have stood through my darkest of moments. And of course, it's all, I think it's a wonderful time for us to connect back together. Hope we can meet each other more often, more cordially, getting back to the spirit of September 97. Thank you.